Oh, Coach Payton, say it ain't so. I've seen more folks getting verklempt on the air and more friends hiding under their pillows since our dear Sean Payton has let us know that he's decided to retire from the Saints. Let's talk about what that means. Let's talk about what his journey is representative of for all of us. And let's just have a little hoot at time, shall we? Hello, my loves. Dr. Holly here. As everyone in New Orleans knows, we had a sad, sad day this week when Coach Sean Payton let us know that he has decided to retire from coaching our dear team, the New Orleans Saints. For those who are maybe not from here or have short memories or what have you, or God forbid, live here and don't follow football, Coach Payton came to us in 2006. Now, 2005 is when Katrina hit. Just a year before he came in and turned our team around and made the Superdome a place where you needed to be, a ticket that was hot to have, and a waiting list that's, I don't know how many miles long. The Superdome was a place of death. It was a place of loss. It was really symbolic of what our city had gone through with that huge hurricane. As you guys might remember, the images that you saw on the news with Katrina was of folks sitting outside of the dome, outside of the convention center, begging for help. I still hear from folks who happen to have been taken to the Superdome for respite because they lost their homes in the Ninth Ward and or other areas, and then experienced death, experienced terrible things while in that dome and going through that together. Really shaped us as a community. New Orleans is such an old, historic, rich, vibrant place. It's full of spirits. It's full of history. It's full of life. It's now full of hope. And that is because of Coach Payton. Back in 2005, we were really in a place of loss. I myself was going through the loss of my father, and then a month later, hurricane hitting my city. And it was just really a dark time. But it was also a time when people were their best selves. Some people were their worst selves, but others were their best. People helping each other out, using the food stamps that they had from their Katrina experience to buy groceries for their neighbor, getting that extra cleaning supplies together, helping each other get out their homes, getting together in those laundromats to try to clean all that mold away. Those were the best times. Of course, there was also the folks that came in and did tours of houses that were, destroyed in Lakeview. I still recall the story of my dear friend inviting those tourists to help her clean her grandmother's china as they watched her do it in her yard. So, not so great times. People maybe taking advantage of us, coming in from outside areas and, doing a little bit of fraud and taking money and never being seen again instead of helping people rebuild. But while all that was happening, while people were running away from our city because it no longer had the fun, amazingness that they envisioned it to be, of course it totally did still because we have our spirit. Sean Payton and Drew Brees came running in. They came in and helped us out. He talked yesterday. He had a lengthy, or a couple days ago, he had a lengthy session with the press, kind of thanking them for being with him on his journey and talking about his journey itself. And during that time, he saw them as giving him a chance as a young coach. But really, I think he gave us a chance by allowing us to be part of his journey towards greatness and sticking with us, even when he started to be so great that others started eyeing him and thinking like, hey, maybe we do want that guy. He stuck around. He helped us take that place of hopelessness, that place of loss, the Superdome, the city, the beingness of us and turned it into a place of hope, turned it into a place of possibility, a place of the here and now versus living in the past. And really that is symbolic of how one can turn from a tragedy, a trauma, into a place of hope and a place of post-traumatic growth. Coach Payton really exemplified that in so many ways. He said that when he and the team started working together and trying to turn things around, they refused to let themselves use the word Katrina as an excuse. They only lived in the here and now and in what they could do right now to make themselves better. And that is part of what we do when we're moving towards a place of growth after trauma. Living in the now, not reliving the past in a way that's negative for ourselves, not suppressing feelings and not acknowledging them. I don't mean that. I mean allowing ourselves to move through them, allowing ourselves to be present in the moment and to notice those feelings, but also allowing ourselves to notice that those feelings aren't static, that they can move forward, they can transform into a place of being and doing that isn't keeping us so stuck. When we experience trauma, it's very commonplace to start avoiding things that remind us of the trauma. And had Coach Payton and the Saints not done what they did to make our experience what it was as fans, I'm looking at you, Steve Gleason, then people may have never gone back to the Dome. People may have never been able to enter it and have a new experience, an experience of hope, an experience of community, an experience of celebration, had they not put down their foundation towards a place of growth, towards a place of building, towards a place of being better, and towards a place of challenging themselves to get through those traumas, those losses. He's had up and downs, as we all know, in his career, but he kept moving forward. And I just find that incredibly inspiring. I'm incredibly grateful for all that he and the New Orleans Saints have done for our fair city. I'm incredibly grateful to Mrs. Benson and to her husband, rest in peace, for sticking with us and for giving us those opportunities to come together as a community and to stick by each other, to support each other, to love each other. As some of you may know, if it weren't for the New Orleans Saints and us winning the Super Bowl in '09, I might not be a Mrs. because my husband and I actually were courting during that particular season. We went to most of the games and maybe all of them. I have to look back and when we even went up to Atlanta to watch us beat them there. Always Patty. So for me personally, the Saints helped me find my new family and develop my own family and my kiddos and the dear husband who I adore, who now works for that organization. So I can't say enough about them. Perfect example, if you're trying to find one, of how you can take a trauma and move into a place of growth, move through it, and find hope on the other side. And with that, I send you lots of love, lots of hope, lots of support. If you are at all interested in learning more about post-traumatic growth and this kind of jives with you and you're like, hey, this girl actually talks about real stuff, reach out. I have discovery calls and I love talking about this stuff. I could talk about this stuff all day. I love supporting people. I have developed a membership that involves weekly coaching, weekly webinars, discounted supplements, discounted visits, included visits, depending on the level of membership. But even if you're not from an area of the country or world where I actively practice, you can still be a part of our basic membership and just be part of our community and learn how to, with support of your community, you can move into a place of growth. So please reach out, darawellnessnola.com. Follow me on social media and just have an amazing, fabulous day. And know I love you. Love you guys.